Warm welcome. This is Markus Termin at the 13th of January 2025. We are just right now in the pre-full moon position. Full moon is going to be this night, 11:45, and it's the Capricorn Cancer full moon, Sun in Capricorn and the moon in Cancer. This is quite a strong full moon because the moon is in his own place. The moon owns the sign of Cancer. He rules the sign of Cancer. And there's nobody who can actually bother him. And so people who are born with a sun in Capricorn and the moon in the sign of Cancer are usually pretty strong personalities with an input of emotional intelligence at the same time. They are able to feel what the others feel and do have strength too at the same time. And a little bit of this full moon energy spreads out to all of us when we do have this full moon. The full moons throughout the year, saying this because this is the first full moon of the year 2025, it's just like flower, flower at blossom, it's just the opening up of all the energy that has been prepared since the new moon. So we have 12 flowers to pick in the year, and they put out presents in a way that they say, if you get to manage to have emotional responsibility, this is the code word for this full moon, emotional responsibility, wherever this hits in your chart, it depends on what houses it works out, then you'll pick one of those flowers and integrate it into the work with your own personality. This could be a path to go. That's the code word, emotional responsibility. I've been saying that again, and he's not very known, still not, but in my eyes, the most important politician for our days is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And imagine that. There's a Kennedy coming back to power, and he's the one who had his uncle shot, and he's the one who had his father shot. There's so many Kennedys to be shot, and he's actually still alive, but he has an ocean of enemies. You can't imagine what, especially in the United States, is going on, because the inauguration is approaching and they're still holding on Robert F. Kennedy. Most important thing, because this is going to bring something very, very good to the world, in my perception. Having a clear look at the chart, you might realize that the moon, this is the full moon position, also joins Mars. Mars is retrograde. And that means as we have the full moon, we have also a Sun-Mars opposition. And also the moon and the Sun axis is in a sextile to Uranus, which puts a portion of explosiveness all to it at the same time. Suddenly eruptive things can happen, which is an important thing. Also, there is a sextile to Neptune at the same time in the sign of Pisces. So there are two sextiles guarding the full moon energy with itself. The retrograde Mars is, what is the retrograde Mars? Cancer is the sign of family, actually, going back to the roots, we could say, and ask ourselves, if we go back to the roots, what traditional values in the sign of Cancer we did have that have not eroded yet and are still reliable to stand on. This is one of the questions this full moon answers. Remember that this full moon is not, though it's the first of the year, the predictive chart. The predictive chart that we're still running on is the new moon and later on the full moon of the 1st of December 2024. And the prediction for this chart is information and wisdom. Just let's have a short look on that. You can see for this predictive chart we have a rising Jupiter, and house 10 is governed by Libra, and there's Lilith up there in house 10. So this is double talking, this is the split sun, this is all the lies, this is all the struggling on to avoid truth. But truth, the opposition of Sagittarius and Gemini, is going along its way, and it's going to come concerning a lot of things. We're talking about information, we're talking about medical information, anything like that. So this is the chart we are still running on. We're still in the phase of eruptive truth bombs to be dropped, you know. If you have not noticed that, that's the reason might be that the whole big complex of fact-checking, lying, mainstream media, you know, is in slow crawling retreat. It's slow crawling, and of course they won't send the important message out there to say what's really going on, because anything, well, they actually can close the doors, you know, it's over for them, it's done. They have over exaggerated, they have missed their central message, you know, to put real information out. So with the official press, it's actually over. It's just not, it's some crawling on the ground we can observe. So this is actually the situation, a full moon of emotional responsibility and strength, and positive scene, the, you know, rebounding, the reinforcing, the going back to the roots with Mars retrograde, you know. If you do this in a conscious way, you even might avoid to have emotional peaks that you might regret later on, which is one of the dangers of this full moon, to say one thing that it's not 100% positive, but we can make it positive. All right, this is my take for today. If you want to get in contact to have a personal reading with a very experienced genius German astrologer, you just get in contact with me easily over this mail address, and we make it easy. I'll just exchange the conditions on how it works if you send me a mail, and I will be happy about that. There won't be a movie tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow I probably will be able to make it again.